Hey, welcome to episode 18 of Building Site. This is a bit of a postscript from the last episode where we got a little bit stuck with a couple of bugs, and I want to explain what those bugs were. I found the solution to both. First, I didn't explain on the episode, I think it was 16, where we got a little bit stuck with a Selma issue, and we were getting class cast exception. And I wanted to just show how I fixed that. Down in Handler, we have a piece of middleware which starts the map. So this map here, pretty critical because it is the very initial map that we copy in the request, and we copy then all the context and all the information that we find as we flow this state through the ring middleware stack. It could be an interceptor chain, it doesn't matter, but it's a piece of growing context. And we had, just because I thought it would be nice and convenient to always get sorted results whenever you show, print, and so on, I made that a sorted map. However, sorted map does have some problems. And one of them is if we say, for example, get a new sorted map, and we associate a bar, and then if we want to get foo from there, then we get a class cast exception. So the way that I fixed that was by resorting to an unsorted map. Let's see. And then that's fine, we get nil. Okay, so that's how I fixed that problem. Then on the earlier episode, we were struggling with, we were doing a curl and we were posting to our login form, and it wasn't working. And I'll show you the issue that we were getting, which was we were getting this 401 problem, and I was really curious because we were looking at the logs. So if we look at the logs in this instance, we were seeing this issue. Bit more log on. We were seeing this disallowed match rule count, and the reason for that turns out that we did actually make a change not so long ago, where I think it was in a few episodes ago, we actually made a change to this post, this login endpoint here. What we did was we changed it from having a purpose. This used to have a site purpose, and we took that out because we considered that we didn't want two different ways of specifying a post function, and we were kind of complicated the code. And if I have a look here, it was this commit. This is the commit that we changed. We took out this thing called purpose, and because of that, we actually changed this rule here. Down here, we said instead of using site purpose for the rule, we used this thing called site URI. Trouble is that site URI was not part of that, was not passed down to this request context. So this is again an indication of how authorization works. We have to provide what we call a request context. So these are all the additional logical propositions that we add to the database. This is where we get information about the subject, the person coming through if they are logged in, the resource, and the representation. So we can, the key one here was the request, and it didn't have this site URI in. So it would have been okay if we'd have used the path, but if we put that in now, then we do get a matched rule. I'll show you that with keep an eye on this log, and I'll go into site and I will do the same curl as I did before. Now if we look at it, you should see, I'll do that again so you should see that there is one rule now that matches, and that rule is anyone can post credentials. Now we can take that, have a look at that request in more detail if we go to our REPL, and we can this is sorted again because I've made a change here where by printing out just in time, I put it into a sorted map, and so that avoids the Selma issue. And here we get a nice rendition. We have an HTML version of this, but I don't think it's, we've not logged in, so it's not public to it, or it's not available to us, but we can look at it at the REPL. And here we can see the access has been approved and which rules matched. And as it turns out, this is exactly the rule that we wanted down here. This is the rule here that we put in. Is that right? No, that this rule. And that is the rule that matches. Okay, and because it has a matched an effective allow, then the access is approved. That happens down in our PDP. Approved. There's yep, that's how it works. So that's great. All good. Anything to commit? Yeah, we need to commit that rule. So that's going to be the rule that allows anyone to access the unauthorized HTML response. I mean, it doesn't make sense to not do that. If you're going to tell somebody they're not authorized, then they've got to have access to that. They've got to be authorized to see that message. Otherwise, they're just going to get a, well, okay, I suppose they could just get a 403, but that isn't very useful. So now we've got found a 302, which is, how do we get a 302? Well, let's trace that back now. If you remember the resource that we put in, and let's find that, has a, this is the unauthorized errors. Oh no, when we post, so when we do a post and we get through, the post is declared in init. This is the one, and we have a post function, which is login response. So this is in our handler. Eventually, right down through the ring middleware, we get to this invoking the method, and then this is where the post method is implemented, and at some point it says, do you have a post function, which is this one, and it will say, okay, well, we'll then call this post function. So this is how this login response gets called. And that's it. That really is the end of the chain, and then it will go back through the ring middleware. So all we have to do here is, well, we return a ring response. And this is where we get our 302. Did we get anything? We got the word found. We didn't get a body. Well, let's back up. Is that the only place that we get a 302? No, we get it there. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out why we don't see that. We just see the word found. Well, it's okay. We don't get the redirect as well. Should be this location here. This is coming, this redirect. How does that? This is coming in the form now rather than the, yes, it is getting from the form. So let's trace that. Should redirect to redirect. Put a trace there. And now we can see it in the trace. So should redirect to, oh, null. Did we? Yeah, we didn't put a redirect. So let's put that redirect equals zip. And then it says should redirect to zip. That's what we want. So that works. Why are we not seeing the body? I'm expecting to see this. Is it because this has to be a byte? Does that have to be bytes? No. We're getting the content type text. This looks like it's being generated by something else. It's where we put the session. I'm going to do a little bit more tracing here. Log trace. Added login session. Just make sure I get that back. We don't seem to be hitting that. Because of course the password isn't correct. We only get this on a, we're in the wrong branch. The branch, this is only when the password checks out, and my password is user_foo password bar. So that we should be on here, which is a fail to log in, and we get a 302. I wonder. We can put a trace here. There we have login failed. And this is where we get our location. So in this case, we want to redirect back to the login form. back to a login form with an error message in the query string. I'll make that a to-do. But it does mean that if we do successfully log in, so get rid of our trace now, which we can move this over here. You can see that working. Right, login. We can log in now. Well, if we go to secret and do the whole flow, we can log in now, and that doesn't look right. If we log in successfully, well, we can, no, we should have kept our trace going. Log. Let's see what happens when we try to log in using the login here. Oh, now that is allowed post to the login. Resource, that isn't found. Well, we should see, let's put in our trace there, and we'll put something like login OK. Login OK. And I guess the location here is the redirect, so redirect to redirect. Let's do that again. Login OK. Redirect to secret. And presumably then we go back to secret. And we're logged in and it works, but yeah, we'll have to log out to see that again. So we logged out. I think there's a way of killing the session cache. No, there isn't an obvious way. What do we do when we log out? And log out is this logout response, and that will We'll have to implement that. That doesn't look like it's clearing out the, it's just clearing the cookie but not clearing the session. So there's a couple of to-dos there for next time. So that's all I have time for today. That was good to clear up, make that bit of progress, and we'll soldier on next time. Okay, thanks for watching.